All right, guys, top of the morning, February 3rd. Where did January go? It's been a crazy, crazy last 34 days, 33 days. But as always, I want to start this out. Ramel, if you can mute yourself, big dog. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's do this, you guys, in true fast form. First off, if you're a guest here, welcome. I'm Elias. This is Keep It Moving Group Coaching. This is an environment where we come together, we provide value to one another, and we believe in the collective wisdom above everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring it back to Nias. Nias got some things on his mind this morning. Nias, I don't know if you've done this before, big dog, but I'm going to have you bring the team out on the field, out on the tunnel, out on the game day. So I'm going to turn it over to you briefly. Nias Cooks, hit us with it and bring us out.
Man, it's time to execute. It's time to be able to get out there and execute, get in escrow, execute your databases, execute within following up with your leads, get out there and just talk to a bunch of people, make it happen. It's Friday, get ready to just, get out there and make it happen. So, just get out there and grind.
Love it, my man. Good stuff. So guys, here's what I want to do. I want to ask three people before we get started. I have a exercise that we do. We typically do this once a quarter, and I think it's really, really important, especially as we just ended the first month of the year. And I think it's important that we really, really get focused on this. And if you've done this in the past, good, we're going to do this again. And we're going to do this, like I said, quite a few times throughout the year. But what I want to talk about first and foremost is rituals and habits. And I want to ask a few people because we have new faces on the screen, and I'm always curious to know, like, what are high performers doing? I believe that a high performer has a standard in the way that they operate, the way that they prepare themselves, and the way that they go into battle every single day. You guys, I've been doing incantations and doing rehearsals in my mind out loud, writing my routine for many, many years, and it's truly, truly given me momentum. So I want to ask you guys. So I wrote some notes here. I was 28 years old when I got turned on to Tony Robbins, and I'm 43 years old now. I was gifted the Unleash the Power Within, and at that time it was CDs, right? So you'd listen to the CDs, and it came with a journal, and you'd sit there in your journal. And one of the most powerful things that I learned early on, 28 years old, was peak states don't just arrive, you have to demand it of yourself. And I was reminded of this the other day. Somebody said that they had a bad day. Now, listen, I'm going to be sensitive to everybody's needs and sensitive to where you guys are at in your life. If you have experienced loss, then that's totally different, right? Say someone passed in your life, that's different. But say something pissed you off, or somebody pissed you off, or something happened, or a client. I don't believe, and this is my opinion, I don't believe that that can affect my entire day. I believe that you can have a moment that was bad. That moment was bad, but people say, oh, I had a bad day. In my head, this is where I go, really? You let that affect your entire day? Like, that's giving someone else control over that. I believe that that is our responsibility, and we own that. Like I said, if you're experiencing loss and someone passes, then take that in and experience that moment. I get that. But what I am saying is that we are the ones that are in control. So I wanted to ask you guys, and I love high performers and how they operate, and there's so much of that on this call. So I want to ask you guys, 3 people, 5 people, whoever wants to go. I want to ask you guys what your war paint was. I want to ask you, what's a ritual? What's a habit? What does that look like? What does that feel like? What does that sound like? And what do you do to instantly put yourself into that peak state? Is it a line? Is it a phrase? Is it a drink? Is it a song? I know Cynthia has hers. You might have heard hers in the past. Hers is really, really cool, and she sings a Journey song. So I wanted to start this conversation off, and let's take 3 people. What do you do instantly to put yourself into a peak state? Because I promise you, you guys can do that in an instant. No matter where I am, I know exactly how to put myself in a zone. I know, and I've practiced this over the last 10, 15 years. So let's hear from 3 people. We're going to shift gears in the productivity multiplier, but I want to start the conversation off like this. Will, you have your hand up? Of course, my man. Let's hear from you. What is it that you do, that you say? What is that habit, that ritual, that war paint that you put on before you go into any endeavor, situation, so on and so forth? Will, let's hear from you.
So just to kind of key on how people get side railed and lose a day, right? And I'm going to give you my war paint, right? If you guys think of what we do as a race, right? Look at it as a Spartan race. The book Spartan Up, that was written by the CEO of Spartan Race, Joe DeStana, teaches obstacle immunity. That's what those races are really all about. It's about changing mindset and getting people off of their asses, right? When you hit an obstacle, you find a way to get over that shit, but your race continues. You don't hit the obstacle and go, oh shit, I got to do burpees because I couldn't do it. I'm done for the day, right? And I'm going to be sad, right? You move on to the next obstacle. So if you look at your real estate career as a long race, you're never going to get side railed by those obstacles. Get excited about that win. Be happy that you climbed that wall. And now what's the next thing, right? So that's a different mindset, so that you don't think I get sidetracked by $100,000 commission getting blown because someone screwed me and 2 other fast team members over. You can't cry about it. You got to move on. You know what I mean? And for me to get that war paint on every day, and I'm telling you guys, if you're not doing it, this is a ritual that can change your game. If you want, there's a Dr. Joe Dispenza, who wrote Becoming Supernatural, You Are the Placebo, has a set of meditations. There's a 20-minute morning meditation and a 20-minute evening meditation. Jay Shetty, if you follow him, he says meditate for an hour a day. If you don't have time to meditate, then do an hour a day. But I'll start my day with a 20-minute morning guided meditation, blindfold myself in the shower, in the water, and listen to that and tune and go inside. My subconscious will structure how my day has to work for maximum efficiency. When I get out of that meditation, I am buzzing and I can sit down and know exactly what I need to do. And because your subconscious is structuring and it's figuring out how to assemble its stuff, you can sit down and go, boom, and write out your work list for the day and blast it. If I don't tune and I get up to do my shit, I've got to kind of scramble and figure out what is going to work for me. And that is 10 years straight of meditation, to tell you that when I don't do it, I am not the best. And I do not operate at high efficiency. Just truth.
Wow.
If you guys want that meditation, hit me up on Instagram. I'll email it to you for free. I paid for all that shit already.
Man, that's powerful. And Bill, I'll come to you in just a moment. I think this is really, really powerful. Like how many of you scramble in the morning? Maybe press snooze 6, 7 times and then scrambled, and then kids, and then life, and then, oh my God, I got my business, and like we scramble through it. And then what happens is that we are in angst, right? Like I'm not greeting the day with clear focus, and I'm not greeting the day with clear intention. I started out with angst. That's why that morning ritual is super, super important. So that war paint, whatever you're doing, find something that gets you instantly in the zone. That's why when you're seeing pro athletes practice, they got their headphones on and they're really just in their zone or going through their rhythms, or throwing the ball, they're running their patterns. You see them like they're getting themselves ready for that battle. So Will, I absolutely love that. Let's hear from Bill Gaden. We'll hear from one more person, and then we're going to do a worksheet together. So Bill, let's hear from you, big dog.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Mine's a little bit different, but kind of like on what you touched on earlier, is I remind myself in a couple different mantras, for lack of better phrasing. Life is a journey, and I am a total control freak, and I'm sure most people in this room, because of our line of work, are control freaks. And whenever someone pisses you off, gets on your nerves, upsets you in any way, you have to stop and ask yourself, is this person worth giving control over my emotions and day? Odds are no. Flat out, I'm in control. We make millions of decisions a day subconsciously. Make conscious decisions. The little mantras I use, I say them nonstop all day, every day. Don't sweat the small stuff. It's all small stuff. And there's no point in worrying about things in which you have no control. If you're not in control, why the fuck are you worrying? Just sit and wait it out until you're in control, take some action. Stay positive. Your day, whether you're happy, you're sad, you're mad, is all in your brain. You make that decision. I'm going to have a smile on my face. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to say hi to everybody I walk across. I'm going to be present. I'm going to be seen, and I'm going to be heard. And it's just put a smile on one person's face every day just by being you with a smile on yours and saying those mantras. And you really can never have a bad day. You'll have, like you said, a bad moment, but it doesn't affect my day. It doesn't affect my reaction to other people.
God, I love this. You guys, I want you to correlate this to your to your cold calling, right? So many times people get fearful of making calls to past consumers, people that are in the database, whatever that looks like for you, because they're afraid if someone's going to say something or piss them off or yell at them or hang up. Like, okay, cool, I release that, I move on. Like, it's okay, they're a stranger to me. I'm not going to let somebody affect me entirely. So Bill, really good points. I love it. Maria Dominguez, let's hear from you. Really beautiful post with your son the other day. Love that. Love seeing you guys together. But Maria, let's hear from you.
So for me is for as long as I can remember, I've been a big journaler. So, and I'm extremely emotional. So for me, I recently was gifted this journal and it says my journey. Can't see it, but in it, and it even goes back to when we were doing the boot camp. So I always start with gratitude. So what are the 5 things I'm grateful for today? A, I woke up. 2, I work on visualization. So I think about, okay, so I'm going to make these phone calls. What is that going to look like? And I visualize that at the end of the phone call, I'm going to get a positive response. I do affirmations every single morning. And I even found an affirmation app. So for me, I wake up and it's like I'm walking boldly into my business. I'm opening up myself to opportunities that are coming. I also now, because of my puppy, I get up and I start walking at least 30 minutes every single morning. So like it says, like your tattoo about the train, like you keeping it moving, right? As long as we have action and movement, I feel like our body and our psyche changes. If you wake up, grab a cup of coffee, and you're already in a depressive mode, I guarantee you the rest of your day is going downhill. And it already started off bad. So for me, I set my mind first and I get my body moving to get me through the day. I also do shots, and I don't mean alcoholic shots. I do shots of lemon juice, ginger, and cayenne every single morning. That stuff gets me flowing quickly. Not flowing like that, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, here's the cool thing. Like, put that app down below because Adonis is asking. But I want to pause for a second, you guys. I just want to pause for a quick moment. We got to do better. And you guys, I love you. I'm looking at screen after screen after screen, and nobody has their cameras on. You guys, if you guys are not driving, your kids to school, be present. This is a moment where we come together. People are sharing, they're being vulnerable, and you don't even show up with your camera on. Like, how you show up here is how you're going to show up everywhere. So I want to encourage you guys. I want to push you. And I also want to push and encourage the people that never raise their hand to step up. I know you have some really good stuff to share. And I know that public speaking is scary for most. But when you start doing it and you do it more often, I promise you, you'll get better at it and you'll contribute. There is someone on this call today that could hear something you say and it could impact their life. Do better, you guys. If you have the ability to put your camera on, be here, be present, show up, and give back to your community because you and they deserve that. Jeff, let's go to you. Joellen will come to you next.
Yeah, so something that I do that I just started doing, same thing with the affirmations. It's a I am meditation, and it's about like 2 hours long, right? But like I break it down every morning and every night. It's become a part of my ritual. It's become one of those stones that does not change for me every single night. And I started it in the middle of December. You know what I'm saying? I was just mentally, I was not where I wanted to be. I felt like I was falling further and further away from happiness and just that full confidence and just that self-fulfillment. So I was like, all right, let me change something in the subconscious level, because on the conscious level, I can control that. But there's something that I'm not doing on a subconscious level that isn't staying in alignment. And so I've been doing this one, and I'll drop it in the chat. But the other thing is, I like music. I'm an ex-football player, so you know I'm in the gym right now. But it don't matter if I'm making my calls. We ready, hey, we. But you got to get yourself moving. You got to get your little mantra. You got to get your little song. But like that's mine. I'd be like, we ready, hey, we ready, hey, and just do that right before, and it gets you in your peak state.
Left side, strong side.
Yeah,
left side.
Yeah.
Can I piggyback on that?
I think Elias is frozen, so let's just keep it moving. Yep. Go ahead,
Don't call me Cameron. Everybody does that.
I meant that was my bad. It was a
No,
slip
it's all
up.
good. It's all good. You're my spirit animal this morning. So yeah, with regards to those I am mantras. So Wayne Dyer has a meditation that I've been listening to. I'm trying to get into the habit of listening to it every single night before I go to bed. I fall asleep with it on. But what I've been doing lately is, so I was sitting there on YouTube and I was like, putting in my notes on my phone. Everything he was saying, I would just pause it, write it down, pause it, write it down. So I have his whole, like, everything that he's saying in there, and he's talking about like how the God is within me. I am, fearless, all this stuff, right? And so there's this other app, and I'll put it in the chat also, where you can basically record yourself. So what I've been doing is I've been recording myself saying all the mantras that he's saying. And then at night now, that's what I listen to, and it's on loop. So like I wake up in the morning and it's still playing. And I love that because although his affirmations are all like very powerful, hearing yourself, your subconscious mind is supposed to absorb it better. So I've been feeling like that really works for me. I'm very like Maria Dominguez. I write down my affirmations every single day too. And I feel like that's been very, very helpful for me too. Also reading them, writing them out. And I have 20, early 2000, and I go back to those, and some of those things have already happened. It's like now my goals are like twice as big, and some of them, I've already met without even realizing it. It isn't until I go back and look at this shit that I'm like, damn, I did that. Oh my God, like, wow, I made that much. I didn't even know. Like, it's all happening. So anyway, I think just doing that has been helpful for me. So thanks for letting me share.
That's super powerful. I don't know if Elias came back on. Yeah.
JP,
but
roll
I
with
think
it.
I agree
His
with
computer's
that.
frozen.
Yeah. All right, I
I
got you. I agree with that. Hearing yourself do it and making sure that you hear yourself do it, it goes on another level. I actually wanted to just start that, so I'm so glad you said
I do the same thing, reading books like Cybernetics is like such an amazing book because your mind, you can create a theater in your mind and literally make it happen. We are creatures of making mistakes, but we are also creatures of breaking those mistakes. And just celebrating all of the little wins and just staying busy for me. Like my calendar is busy. I'm out every day. I literally get up every day, do my affirmations, read my book, get ready, give the kids some positive stuff to go to school with. And then I'm just out there and I'm joining groups. I'm going to be part of our CCNRs here in Cameron Park committee. I'm on the Rotary. Yesterday at a table, I sat with a gentleman. He said, oh, he's all, you're Joellen. He's all, you're doing work with Casa in El Dorado, right? I said, yeah. He's all, yeah, Amy Pulley mentioned you. She's the president of El Dorado. So when people are talking about me, those are the people that I want to talk about me. So you guys, I'm just smiling, keeping my head up and just planting those seeds and working. So.
Love it. Sorry about that, you guys. My entire computer froze. Everything froze. So sorry, I had to shut everything down. Carmen, I'm going to come to you in just a second. But while Daniela has a quick break, I wanted to.
I already went.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool. Can everyone put their hands down that have already gone? That way I don't get confused. Jeff, thank you for stepping in. Thank you for helping out. Carmen, that was fire. Whatever you said. Daniela, I want to go over to you. Let's shift the conversation. Let's go into action. This has been a long time coming. You've put in the blood, sweat, tears, and you went on your first listing appointment this week. And if you guys don't follow Daniela, make sure to give her a follow on Instagram. But what happened? This is about action. Talk us through what happened, how you're feeling, talk us about the emotion, the preparation, all that, because we're going to shift the conversation into action right now. So let's hear from you. I'm glad that you're here because I was thinking about you this morning.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's so crazy because I went from like feeling so stagnant and like, damn, like, am I even a realtor? Like, what am I doing? To just going and doing the damn thing. I was transparent a couple months in December when I was like, December was really busy because I put in the work. I didn't know what I was doing, not because the team hasn't prepared me, but because I hadn't taken the time to prepare myself. So I figured before I go out and do some things, like take the time and take the action to just prepare myself, use the resources from the team. And even if I mess up, I will figure out a way to make it happen. So December went off with a kick. January was the same thing. And you guys all know that I've done content for realtors for a very, very long time. And I just never did it for myself, even though I've been an agent for like almost a year. Anyway, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna start getting social, but I'm gonna go on Facebook. And sure enough, I started making reels for Facebook, and I've gotten so much attention from there. The two people who called me, because I had 2 listing appointments this week. So I went from having nothing to having 2 listing appointments this week, 4 buyers consultations. I have 2 more tomorrow in the morning. And it really was because I just went out there and did it. I wasn't 100% prepared, but I knew that I wasn't going to get anything done if I just sat home and felt sorry for myself. So coming to the gym, this has been like my 3rd consecutive week of coming to the gym like 4 times a week. I feel like that helped me a lot. Thank you, y'all. Thank you. Because y'all know when I feel like not doing something, I do not do it. And I needed to get out of that habit. I figured everything that I want is on the other side of the things I don't want to do. And the shortcut I've been looking for the past couple of months is just called discipline. So I'm like, I got to get out there and do it. So this has been a really productive week. Also going to like all these accountability groups, even when you're like, damn, we talk about the same thing over and over again, you just need to keep pounding it into your mind. I feel like that's helped me a lot. And like I said, you just got to go for it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
I love it. Congratulations, securing your first listing. And here's the thing, there's a message there. Doing the things that you don't want to do, no matter what, right? There's so many things that I don't want to do, but I'd show up and I do it anyways. And that is the differentiator there. We get together every single week, me, Kenny, Karina, and Molly. And it's the same conversation over and over and over and over and over again. But that continuity and that consistency has helped build us, soon $1 billion plus company. So Daniela, congratulations to you. I love it. Chris Edwards, you had your hand up, then we'll go to Bridget, then have a conversation I want to go into with you guys right now. And then Liz, I'll get to you as well. Chris, let's hear from you, big dog. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Team Fast. How's everybody doing?
Great.
I tuned in late and I kind of missed what the question was, but I kind of get the gist of it. So I just wanted to share. So last year today was the first time I had my meeting with you and Kenny. So it's the first time I've been invited into the space and all like that. And so now it's a year later and I haven't quite got a sale yet, but to see where I came from then to now, like I got my license December 2021. But I didn't actually start actively looking for clients until June because I was flat out scared. And I've shared that with people. Like, it was just something that was totally new to me. I remember getting my first City call after doing a video. I'm sitting here reviewing the video. I'm looking at the views like, okay, people messing with me. Cool. I'm getting excited. Then I get the call and I just completely froze. And I haven't experienced, well, I've experienced before, but I was a kid. I was a child when I experienced that. And it was like, I reverted back to that. So to see where I am right now, working with clients and just putting in the effort. No, I haven't made videos on actual, the post, but I stayed on the stories. I stay active on the stories. And I don't know what the point is, but I just wanted to share with everybody. And I just want to thank you guys.
Listen. The point is, here's the point.
Here for
Your audio's cutting out, Chris, but here's the point. We love you. Check this out. So Julie went 9.5 months, Julie, the numbers agent, without a deal. Jen went almost 9 months without a deal. Otis White, who's on this call, went 1 year without a deal, and then it started to turn. So sometimes it is closer than we know. I know it's
now.
tough.
What I was saying is that I know it is there, and like the confidence that I have right now is because of you guys and the team. You know what I'm saying? So the negative thinking that I once had is no longer present. So just that growth right there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody sees it that's around me. You know what I'm saying? They feel the glow. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday, instead of trying to just do online leads, I went to go talk to a friend. And the friend led me to her cousin. So that's the potential client right there. So just, I'm just appreciative, y'all.
I love it. And you know what? That's success in my eyes. Like that's success in my eyes. So man, it like those skills, the life skills, the impact, the confidence level, that's success in my eyes. Let's go to you, Marika, and then we'll go to Bridget in a second. Marika, let's hear from you. What's your insight and what's your contribution?
Thank you, guys.
Yes, we love you, bro. Sorry, go ahead.
So inspired by everything everyone is saying, and I just want to share. Having spent 20 years in corporate finance and accounting, I'm going into my 3rd year as a realtor. I was trained to become the best control freak ever, and so I had to learn that, so my time with God in the morning is the #1 thing that sets me up for the day. And absolutely, if I skip that, the day shows it. So like what everyone was saying about the meditations. But the other thing I want to add to the conversation is when you've put it all out there, surrender the outcome, you guys, because we control very little. We can control all of the things we choose to do, but other people's reactions are going to be their reactions. And just because you laid it all out there and it somehow didn't land for someone, don't let that take away from your effort. Like, I just want to say that because a lot of us work really, really hard. And like, we have the way we measure our results. Effort is important, but sometimes also when we have that bad moment, just surrender that outcome because things work out the way they should. I really believe that.
Wow. I love this. I love this. Let's hear from Bridget, and then Liz, we're going to come over to you because you're part of this action, conversation. But Bridget, hello. Hi, welcome.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm well. And yourself?
Fine. I first want to thank Mary Lee for inviting me to join your group.
I appreciate that.
Wanted to introduce myself. I've worked for the County of Marin Department of Building and Safety for 33 years. I'm actually the permit manager for the department, and I am getting ready to retire. So while I'm happy about it, it's also a scary feeling. And I also recently passed my real estate test. So I'm just trying to figure out where I fit in this journey. I want to find a company that supports my vision and where I'm trying to go. Real estate, it's about money, but it's not all about that for me because I have a retirement. What I'm looking for is to show brown people that you don't have to be stuck in your circumstances, that there are programs to help you get into home ownership. And I just want to educate myself on the ins and outs of real estate, these programs that help people who don't have homes or don't think they can buy homes. I just want to give them hope. And so I'm just trying to find a place where I fit in that supports my end goal.
Wow. Well, first, I know you and I have a one-on-one scheduled, and I'm looking forward to meeting you. I'm sure Mary Lee shared my calendar with you. I think she did. But let's just pause for a second. How many people just connected with what Bridget said? How many people connected with it? Okay, listen. What did I tell you early on in the call? Raise your hand, speak up. You're going to say something that someone else is going to connect with. Bridget, I absolutely love the thought, love the cause, love the purpose, love the mission. I'm looking forward to telling you further what it looks like to be partners with us in this environment, but you're getting a sneak peek of what that environment is all about. And Bridget, I appreciate you sharing, and thank you for your very first contribution on the group coaching call. I appreciate you. That was powerful, powerful. So Bridget, I'm looking forward to our talk and connecting and tell you everything that you need to know about partnership with us. So Bridget, thank you for your time today, and thank you for being here. Really, really hope that you take something of value out of this. Liz, let's hear from you. Appreciate you. Liz, let's hear from you, and then we're going to shift gears into the multiplier.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm one of those guilty ones that you talked about this morning, so I'm glad I have my camera on. I usually don't turn it on, but I'm glad I did. And I guess maybe I was meant to be here and talk, but I also agree with Daniela. As long as you plug in, you're involved, you go to the different events, meetings, trainings at our offices, it does make a difference, regardless if it's the same subject, or you always learn from other people. And it's really inspiring seeing these younger agents be successful. and that motivates me. And so I've been taking action. I've been in this community for almost 2 years. And so I started with a food drive back in November. And so I'm like, I need to go out there and door knock again because, I want to make sure people get to know me and not just because I'm trying to sell something. But I door knocked about 200 doors, and it was nice that some people recognized me because of the food drive, and they were like, "Can we do another food drive? Because I really want to give back to to the people the people that most need it." And yeah, so that made me feel pretty special. But and I'm like, okay, I need to do this again because I was having second thoughts about doing it. I'm like, oh my God, do I really want to go out there? People are going to get pissed because last time only one person complained, but I was like, oh, they could call the cops. It's not like I'm doing anything bad, right? I'm just trying to do something good for the community here. And then also the fact that.
That's right. I love it. I saw her 2 nights in a row out in the cold, out there knocking on doors. She had a certain amount of houses that she needed to get to. And you're actually on my list, you and Elisa, for your ability just to say, you know what, I'm going to go out there and knock on these doors and I'm not going to stop until I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. That was going to be my next thing. The fact that having an accountability partner helps. And now that she's a longtime friend of mine from real estate, and I'm like, now that we're together, we should be able to do a lot more. And then that's my next thing. I've been sharing my activity on social media, and that's helped me attract other agents. So you don't need to push EXP or our team. They just see what we're doing, and then they want to be part of it, and then they reach out to me. So I've been referring people to our coaching, sending the links to our meetings, our coaching calls, and our team meetings. So that's another thing that I wanted to do more agent attraction. But this just comes naturally. Just do the activity, share it on social media, and then it'll just come. The business and the agents come.
I love it. I love it. Great job. And great job to you and to Elisa. Elisa went and knocked down 100 doors the other night, 12 conversations. Everyone was friendly, excited. She partnered with a lender as well as a local restaurant to get a discount. She did a twilight open house. So this is about action, you guys. And I believe that what you're hearing is you're hearing not only the mindset, but you're hearing the action related to how they are driving their business. And I love hearing this. So here's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to do this exercise with me. We do this, like I said, once a quarter at least, and sometimes we do it more. This is called the productivity multiplier, and it is very, very simple. So here's what I want you guys to do is take a pen. If you're not somewhere, Cynthia loves this time of year. Her and I always do this. All right, so just literally take a piece of paper and make it into 4 squares. It's simple. It's really, really easy. The top left square is number 1. And all I want you to put next to that is truth. And I'll explain this all in a moment. Number 2 is the square directly below it. And that's going to be reflections, right? So just put 1 as truth, 2 as reflections. Number 3 is right next to 2, bottom right. And that is going to be re-vision, your revision, okay? And then right above that is number 4. And number 4 is your micro commitments. So as you guys write that all out, let's go through what this actually looks like and what this actually means. So the first one is you're going to get truthful about your numbers. So what I want you to do is just write down what your numbers were for this first month of the year. How many appointments you went on, how many clients that you met, how many conversations that you had, and for some, how many new contracts that you put on the board, whether it was new listings taken or new open escrows for representing a buyer. What are the numbers for January until February 3rd? Well, what are those numbers right now? So you should be able to know those numbers. If you're like this right now, I think I maybe talked to, I'm going to put an 11. No, I think there's a problem there. You guys should be able to, I had a meeting with Aaliyah yesterday. I said, how many appointments did you have for the entire month? Are you ahead? Are you behind? She was able to pull up her numbers, pull up her conversations, and to be real with exactly where she was. So first off, truth is your numbers. You should be able to track your numbers and follow up Boston Sisu and or a whiteboard, however you want to do that. Number 2, What does the numbers tell you about you and your business? Did you lack consistency? Did you not track? Did you not prospect? Did you not create videos? Like, what do the numbers tell you about you? And this is an amazing experience, an amazing exercise, because it is self-reflective and it is introspective. And I want you guys to be real with yourselves. So number 2 was, what do the numbers tell about you? Now let's look at it on the other side. The numbers tell me that I have displayed discipline, that I have followed through on my commitments, that I have made the calls, I have prospected, I have knocked on 100 doors 3 days a week. Like, what do the numbers actually say about you? Third is the revision. And this is based on your observations. Where would you like to go now? And let me elaborate. When you look at your revision date, we're only going back 30 days from the beginning of the year. So this exercise and this formula is really, really simple right now for you. Go back through the last 31, 32, 33, 34 days, right? Since the beginning of the year. When you were walking into the new year, what was your vision? Oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to create, I'm knocking on every door in my neighborhood. Well, now when you look at that and you look at the truth in your numbers and what they actually say about your performance over the last 34 days, based on your observations, where would you like to go now? Meaning that I'm going to stay the course. I'm going to do the things that I'm doing because it's really, really working for me, or I need to have a revision. What it means is that you guys might have had something that you thought was cool for you. You thought that you were going to be able to stick to, and you thought that it was truly a part of your vision. Well, when you look back at the numbers over the past 34 days, if it wasn't compelling you to follow through with this vision, then in my mind, was it the right vision for yourself, right? Did you cast something that was not even connected with who you are as a human being? So that's why number 3 is the revision, right? What do I need to do a little bit different? How do I need to look at my business? What do I need to shape? How do I need to rearrange this just a little bit to make sure that I am on pace? If I said I was going to make 100 calls every other day, that's some bullshit. That's not for everybody. I can't do that. So you have to look at it and say, over the past 34 days, what did I do? What do the numbers say? And now I'm going to revisit. And what the revision is for the next 30 days. Next 30 days. That way we can look back. For the next 30 days, here's my micro commitments. And this is what I'm going to change. Number 4 is micro commitments. It is reshaping your vision, your goals, and your commitments. What I want you guys to do is say, for the next 30 days, that's going to be my revision period so I can analyze this, is I'm going to go in and I'm going to say, okay, what was working thought was going to work for me in 2023 is not. I'm off. I'm not doing it. I'm not stepping up. I'm not making the calls. I'm not making the videos. I'm not doing the things that I knew I needed to do, and I'm behind. What am I going to do to reshape that vision, my goals, and my commitments for the next 30 days? And that's just adjusting some things that make sense to you. Maybe that's going into the office 2 times a week. Maybe that is getting to the office. Check this out. This is what I like to do. Get to the office at 6:30, 6:45, 7 a.m. It is quiet. It is cold. And guess what? Nobody is in that booth. Nobody is in the booth in Oakland. You have it just to yourself. It is quiet. You could go in there and fuck up as many times as you want. Like, what does that revision for the next 30 days look like for you? Like, if it's not working for you right now, how long are you going to go along and let yourself down without making some adjustments? Number 1 was the truth. The truth are your numbers. Number 2 is the reflections. What do the numbers say about me? Number 3 is based on the observations. Where would I like to go now? And number 4 is the micro commitments over the next 30 days. You guys are going to hear this theme all throughout the year. Where are your numbers? Where are you at on your BTO? Where do the numbers say you're at? Are you ahead? Are you behind? We're going to talk about this all year long, you guys, all year long, because I want you to achieve the level of success that you have declared to the world. And I'm going to help hold you guys accountable. Liz, is that a new hand up or is that an old hand? Rapid
Yes,
fire, what's your question?
I forgot to mention the most important part of my door knocking. I met a nurse who's my neighbor, and she said one of her doctors is looking to buy in Dublin. So that was one lead. And then another lady told me about a FISBO, her next door neighbor, that wasn't able to sell their house, so that they came back to live in it because it was vacant for a long time. So that was the second lead I got.
Perfect. Wonderful. So sorry, now I'm off track. Back to the conversation at hand. Thank you, Liz. Back to the conversation at hand. 1, truth. 2, reflections. 3, revision. 4, micro commitments over the next 30 days. I want you guys to sit down, get focused, and really write this out. Because it is one thing to set a clear vision for the year, but if it's the wrong vision, you need to identify that and you need to change that, and you need to change that right away. You guys, this year is going to go by so quick. We're getting married in October, and then we're going to go on vacation for 2 weeks to Bali, which I'm super, super excited about, or, you know, spending the rest of our life together. I'm like, that's fucking, it's just a few months away, right? You guys are going to get into the summertime and you're going to look back like, oh my God, where did this year go? This year is just going to fly by, you guys. So here's the time to change some things up. This success multiplier, I've been doing this now for 2.5 years, and here's where I learned it. I was asked to go to a mastermind. Would you like to go to this mastermind? It's going to be $1,900 for 2 days. I'm like, damn, that's pricey. I got to pay for my flight. I got to pay for the event. I'm like, I'm going to go. It's hosted by this guy named John Cheplak. I was like, all right, I don't know this buff dude, but let me research him. Very little social media presence at that time. Didn't even know who this guy was. We sit in a living room of 40 people, and in front of the fireplace is this buff yoked dude with tattoos and a screen behind him. And there was 40 people in his living room. Now, John Cheplak is, you know, featured at Inman. He is putting these massive events. The dude made $7.2 million last year. And at 47 years old, the guy never even had a home that he owned. So sitting in that room was a really powerful moment for me, because that really reframed and shaped my entire career. And I felt like I had good momentum at that time. This exercise is something that we did, and it's something that I do regularly to check to see where I'm at. Did I do the things that I said I was going to do as a leader? Did I deploy the programs that I said I was going to deploy? Did I show up in a way that I told myself and told the team that I was going to show up? I check myself. And it was because of sitting in that 2-day session inside of John's living room. I remember when I was there, somebody asked me a question, and like, I was like, my voice was shaky. I was nervous, right? So just like when you guys get asked a question here, my voice might get a little shaky, you were nervous. But now I look back and like, man, look how much growth this guy has had, and look how he's impacted our space, and look how he's impacted my life. And so do this with accountability person, go back, watch this. It is called the productivity multiplier. And if you do it effectively, it will help shape your mindset a little bit different. So let's do this, you guys. Let's go around the room and get a few key takeaways. I'm going to call in some people that I haven't seen for a moment, and call in some people that have been usual suspects in our environment. But Adonis, my man with the hair, looking all beautiful over there, my man. I'm jealous. You know, I used to have hair longer than yours.
Yeah.
Longer than yours, bro. But Adonis, we hear from you. Key takeaways from our time together today in group coaching. Key takeaways.
Yeah. I love just what everyone does in the to keep it moving, you know, not to have a bad day, just going through their mantras, the journaling, the meditations, the what they're grateful for. So yeah, just bringing it back to the basics and keeping yourself inspired and going, and not letting anything defeat you, and just having the confidence that eventually the action that you're putting in is going to bring the results that we're all trying to get. And cool, then, man. Yeah, that's what I got there. And then, yeah, just looking at your numbers and just, you know, seeing that. And if you're new, using that to grow is still, that was just January. So we're going to keep doing this throughout the year. And I'm really looking forward to see how this grows over time. So
I love it, big dog. I appreciate you being here. Ernesto, good to see your smiling face, my man. And you know what? Ernesto got asked to speak. Super, super excited for you. We know that he is a wonderful, wonderful speaker, and now he's getting to share that with even more and more people. And he's been super consistent in the way that he shows up. So Ernesto, Great job, my man. Would love to hear your takeaways. Then Mauricio, I'll come right over to you, big dog.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a little vulnerable with you guys. It's been a cold winter for me. And that's okay. Like, that's okay. I know people see the speaking engagements and I was a rising star, all these awards, all those awards, honestly, it's like they don't mean anything. They don't mean anything. I was reading a statistic yesterday that there's 46% less real estate agents in Miami. There's a lot of people that are going to give up. There's a lot of people that are not honestly doing the things that they're supposed to do to make the money that they say that they want to make, to have the things that they swear they want to provide their parents and their children with. And for me, like I'm tracking more than I ever have. I'm doing more than I ever have. I'm calling more people than I ever have. I'm door knocking. I'm networking. I'm in the Concord Chamber of Commerce. I'm posting videos basically every other day consistently. And I right now don't have the results to show for it. I have a pretty strong pipeline going into the next month. So that, a couple things that I want to emphasize, this could all change in a heartbeat. And you listen to Daniela's testimony, and she went a long time without really seeing a lot of traction. And then out of nowhere, boom. And that's how my year was last year. So I have to be honest with myself. I remember last winter was really, really slow for me as well. And then it just came in waves. Like I was doing like 5 escrows at a time and then like 2 escrows at a time. So it's going to come. It's going to come if you're honestly doing the things that you are supposed to be doing. And it's not as much as you think it is. Like this idea that you have to prospect for 10 hours a day, that's pretty unrealistic. There's not a lot of people that are going to do that. And honestly, you don't need to do that. I think honestly, 2 to 3 hours a day of prospecting, whether it's door knocking, whether it's cold calling expireds, of which there are more right now. I promise you, like if you do those things and you have the receipts to prove that you did, you will have a pipeline of people that are on the verge of doing business with you. And this whole thing's going to turn around faster than you realize. And then the other thing that I think about is like, you might be asking yourself, well, what does it take? Like, what's it going to take? And I ask myself that, like, well, how many more calls is it going to take? How many more door knocking sessions? And how many more videos do I got to post? And if you guys, I don't want to do too many sports analogies, but Nick Saban, the head coach of Alabama college football, one of the most prolific coaches ever, who has produced more NFL players probably than anybody in the history of the sport. When somebody asked him, hey, what's it take? It takes what it takes. Like, there's no finite number. It takes what it takes. And there's a lot of people that are going to leave this business. There's a lot of people that didn't renew their MLS dues. There's a lot of people that are not going to pony up and pay those dues. If you're willing to be one of those people who's going to be honest with yourself and give a true, honest, and lastly, you can't go to work and not do work for 8 hours and expect to get a paycheck. Like, you're going to get reprimanded. You do that 2-3 times, you're going to get fired. I don't care where you work. So why do we think it's okay to do that with ourselves? And we can actually do less. Again, we could do less. 2 to 3 hours is really all it takes. And like, some of us don't even pony up to do that. And it's crazy. So the people that are willing to do what it takes, I think we'll see incredible rewards. And that's what I'm committed to. So just sharing a little bit about what's going on with me, and hopefully that inspires some of you.
Absolutely love it. Somebody told me that early in my career, as many as it takes, and I really appreciate that. I think there's a lot of people that needed to hear that today. So Ernesto, good to see you. I know that you're doing all the things behind the scenes that are going to lead to, the level of success that you set out to the world. So I love it, man. Let's hear it from Mauricio, and then I'm going to go over to Nicole or Jessica Hernandez. So Mauricio, let's hear from you, big dog, and take it away with your key takeaways from our sesh.
Yeah, good morning, guys. So I never raised my hand, so I'm going to what Elias said. I want to start taking accountability for myself. Ernesto, I'm so glad to be a part of your network. I'll be actually going to that mastermind with Ernesto and spending days with Ernesto and a bunch of other heavy hitters. But yeah, so I am being very vulnerable, and going back to what Chris Edwards said, I've been with you guys for 7 months, and I've been scared. I'm scared speaking right now, right? But I've been scared to just go all in. and it's time, man. As you guys can see, I got my little munchkin back here. I'm doing dad duties, but it's for my wife who's really putting up for my family, my kids, and I'm going all in. I just ordered 1,000 door hangers. I'm gonna start door knocking. I got a Zoom meeting today at 1 to start my farm campaign with Chicago Title. I'm gonna start doing a bunch of different things. So very, very good to hear about like the morning routine, something that I've been thinking about, but it's great to just hear everybody else's morning routines and get focused, get really focused. But yeah, so thank you guys so much. Have a blessed weekend.
Man, I love this. And here's the thing, like action taker, him and I had a coaching session last week. We looked at some things that he wasn't doing that he could do, and you can hear it. He's like, I'm going to show up differently for my family. And Mauricio, mad love and respect to you. Great stuff. Jessica Hernandez, thank you for being here. We haven't met officially, or maybe we have, but I don't.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi. Yes, I was there at the study session with Lauren.
Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, hi.
Yeah, hi. I'm so happy to be here. So hi everyone. My name is Jessica. I'm not an agent yet, so I'm still studying. I'm barely on my first book, so I'm in the very beginning. I feel like some key takeaways that I got from today's session is the meditation and journaling. So I recently started meditating in the mornings for at least 10 minutes. And I do want to say, like, I feel like it's changed my day. You know, I feel more relaxed. I feel like I'm able to just have a clear mind before I take my daughter to school, and, you know, like all the chaos from the day, like it just makes me feel good.
I love it.
Yeah, another thing that another key takeaway was just showing up for myself. So I think this is my 4th meeting that I've joined with you guys, and you know, I feel like for me, it's really hard because I get really nervous, you know, and one thing that I've been telling myself is just show up, do the things that you don't want to do, you know, and just listening to you say that and hearing that consistently, like it helps me just show up whenever I don't want to, and it makes me feel good afterwards. So even though I'm nervous or like I get a little scared, you know, I'm like, you know what, it doesn't matter, like I'm just gonna do it, because if I don't do it, I'm not gonna grow. So
Love it. Love it. Well, Jessica, we're looking forward to supporting your career, and congratulations to you to at least taking this step in your life. I got time for one more. Marilee, I'm going to have you go. Go ahead. Was that a finger up, Ernesto?
Yeah, I had one more thing. I think a lot of times these conversations, they sound very like, woe is me. Oh, I'm having a hard time. Oh, I believe in myself. And like, that's all good and dandy. Don't get me wrong. But why do I do this, and why do I like to do this? There's a lot of reasons. I love helping buyers get into a house. Like, I love that. I love guiding them through that. I absolutely love that. I love listings. I feel like I fucking crush listings. Excuse my French, my photography, my staging, my negotiations, the way I prepare. Fucking love staging. So part of me, or staging, I love listings. So part of me feels like I'm saving other people from dealing with a shitty agent. Respectfully. Like, I see the awful photos, I see the empty houses, I see the like, I'm just like, oh man, I feel bad for that client. So part of me is like, I want to go out and help these people. Secondly, like, we live in one of the most affluent parts of the world, and we look at how many tech workers are being laid off. Like, and those people are some of the smartest people on the planet, and they make 150, 200, 250. That's like a good range of how much money they make. That amount of money is extremely doable in what we do. I dare you to open house 3 weekends a month for the entire year and do 3 hours of prospecting a day, 5 days a week. You're working half as much as some of they are. We're not IQ smart as some of they are. And the possibilities for us from an income perspective and a lifestyle perspective is way higher. So I don't want to end on like a negative note or a woe is me, or like, there's so much potential here, and all of us, like, it's so realistic for all of us. So that's like the other side of the coin, just so we don't, again, I don't want this to be like a sad conversation. It's not. Like, we're going to get through it, keep at it. It's going to be fucking awesome when we do.
Beautiful. And I don't believe that anybody thought that this was a sad conversation. I think that there were definitely some messages here. Marilee, we have about 30 seconds. What was your key takeaway? Because I got to close the room because I have a coaching session right at 9:30.
So I just want to share that I've been in these coaching calls for, I don't know, probably 20 of them. And, yesterday I called Bridget to check up on something else work related, and everything tied in. She's been one of my mentors, and she just reminded me, like, girl, you gotta keep your eye on the picture. You gotta keep going. You know what you want. And just being part of this group, even like reading the psycho-cybernetics book, I've gotten so many key takes away from it. But it's like holding yourself accountable, noting down what the ultimate picture looks like. And if you're even at chapter 3 of that book, if you have a clear picture of where you want to be, you have to imagine yourself. You have to make it happen, and you have to hold yourself accountable. Like yesterday, you asked me, where are you at? And I had to hold myself accountable. I had enough time, and I'm not where I want to be at yet. But I told you on March 2nd, I will have my license. So you have to hold yourself accountable. And it's amazing and beautiful to be part of a group of people that are like-minded, that people that know the power of manifestation, the power of your subconscious mind, the people that continue to grow, the people that are vulnerable, and the people that are just here motivating each other. And I'm happy that I've been, I got brought in by Roxanne, and, I show up as much as I can, because I don't want my vision to be out of sight, because it's out of sight, out of mind. If I give up, then it just won't happen.
I love it. I love it. You guys, I appreciate everybody's contributions today. Thank you for being here. On Wednesday of next week, we will not be having group coaching because I am traveling. However, the following Wednesday, Chelsea Wright and I are going to do a full breakdown of psychology, and it's going to be an impactful session. Monday still a go, Friday still a go. Wednesday, we are not doing that. Kenny and I are going to be traveling to Albuquerque. Melissa Radke, you can stay on. You and I will connect. But you guys, as always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and go out there and crush your weekend. Bye, you guys.